Hi, everybody. So we have spoken about the fact that we're going to talk about our preparation for our stage race. So it is very, very important that when you decide on the stage race, which we said we're going to do the 5 stage races next year, how to approach your training because of the amount of stress that your body is going to be under for a whole year, and it's going to go up and down. So basically you'll have 5 A races, and you have to be able to recover between the race in order to execute the next race. And as I mentioned, it's best to do the bulk of your training, the intensity, the volume, before you start the racing. And don't think that in between you're going to be able to do catch up on your racing, because now if you look at the dates when you are going to race, your race is going to be 4 to 6 weeks apart from the next race. And this is not just stage racing. This is also if you're going to do the Ironman. If you're going to do the Ironman, it is prudent to do even a sprint, an Olympic and a half Ironman prior to do the Ironman. But there has to be enough time in between to recover. Not only recovering. Remember, if you do a sprint, and we'll talk about a triathlon section right here, right now. If you do a sprint, you're going to flatline. If you do an Olympic, you're going to work at 80% of your maximum. So you need time for your heart that is going to have that output of stress to come back to normal and adapt the changes that occurred during that high intensity. And if you're not trained, you will not be recovered, and that's how people get injured, and that's how people burn out. So that is really, really important. It's able to manage the stress, but also the recovery for your body to adapt. If you go from an Olympic to a half, you have to also make sure that there's enough time, because the few days after the race, you're still running on adrenaline, your body is going to come down, and you're not going to jump right into training. You're going to do a little bit of training, and then you'll pick it up a little bit, and then you go up, and then you bring it down. And when you bring it down, it's not down, is when you're going to peak again. So you're going to be going up and down in like peaks all the time. So in stage racing, it's very similar. If you're only doing one stage race, then that's a different story. But I'm talking about doing 5 in 1 year. So mentally, I have to prepare to come down after the race. I'm probably going to go in post-race depression, which is the worst thing if you are not ready to know what's going to happen. And that is a section we will talk about at another time. But for now, what we're going to do is talk about preparation. So the first part of the preparation for Namibia, which will be at the end of April, it will start on a Sunday, and it will go for 7 days. So I'm going to take the time from the day the race starts. I'm going to count my weeks back to where I am right now. So I have done some of the foundation work, but I feel that I still want to do quite a bit of base work. I did a race on Saturday, and I know that I went, it taxed me. It put a lot of stress on my heart, on my body. And today I'm recovering. So I can't even walk properly because my legs are so sore. Is that productive? No. However, if I give my body ample time to recover after the race I've done, I'm going to get all the benefits. I'm going to get all the adaptations that my body needs to do is to get stronger. So do I not train for a few days? No. What I did is I did a little bit of activation this morning, very light, and I did about 45 minutes of spinning on my bike, and I took a warm bath with some salts so my body can just relax and get rid of that toxins. So the next few days, I'm going to rid my body of toxins, but I'm not going to not train. But I'm not going to train at anything above 70% of my maximum heart rate. Do not want to do that. So how to prepare for a race like this? So the X amount of weeks, now I'm gonna start and I'm gonna break up my training in blocks of 4 weeks. Okay, this is gonna be pretty boring and if I have to go through the whole thing. But imagine taking a block of four weeks. The first week, what you're gonna do is you're going to include a rest day. Some people do not like rest days. So what I recommend is a meditation day. Which day is the best? I recommend Monday because you're gonna have your volume is on the weekend, and on Monday you can rest and you can kind of recharge yourself and set yourself up for the week to come. Then Tuesday I would do an easy run, and Wednesday I would do cross training, and I would swim 30 to 40 minutes, and in that swim I include snorkel training. So it puts stress on my breathing and I slow my breathing down, because that is a key thing to stage racing, as breathing, not holding your breath, not running out of gas. Thursday, I would do a little bit of a run, but I would add some intervals. So because it's the first week, I would do short intervals. And you're telling me, well, it's a stage race, I don't need intervals. Well, you do, okay? Don't think you don't, because in an interval, your heart rate goes up. In a stage race, you are affected by the heat, you are affected by the stress, your heart rate goes up. So what do you do if you're not used to putting stress on your heart and getting your heart rate to go up? You will not succeed. You will get tired, you will start going slower and slower, and you will not be able to overcome those moments where you need mental action, not just hard action by running hard. It's by taking back, managing that moment when you are running and it's 102 degrees, or when it's raining, or when it's snowing. Antarctica is going to be very cold. So if you're not able to adapt to the stress, you will not be successful. So we're working for you to find success. Now that it's the preparation. On the weekend, I would start with a 10 kilometer run. Now, I wouldn't go longer. Why do I want to go longer? I am not racing yet. I am preparing my body in order to adapt to stress and being on my legs. You don't have to go and run an hour hard. You just go, and if you know your heart rate zones, which I highly recommend for you to find out, and if you don't know, you take 210 and you minus your age and you'll get your maximum heart rate. Now, if you are somebody that's a little bit sick, you will deduct 5. If you're somebody that are fairly fitter, you'll increase it by 5 or 10, and you'll have to play around with that, but it will give you an approximate place where your heart rate should be. So if you're training, you're cross training, I highly recommend you do HIIT trainings and you put your heart rate in quite a stressful position, a situation, not a position, a situation. So your heart rate goes up, but you're able to bring your heart rate down and you go up again, up and down. Now, why do you need this in your stage racing? Because when you're racing and doing a stage race, the first day everybody just have blazing saddles. They go out. Your body, your heart rate go up, and you're not able to bring it down. For the next day, you are going to be going into a deficit. So if you're going to go into a deficit coming to day 3 and 4, where you have to do the long march, you are going to run into problems. So all you're thinking right now is on them. All you're saying is problems, problems, problems. Absolutely. Problems are the things that you have to be able to deal with when you do these types of races. And trust me, you have to deal with them in an Ironman too. When I did my first Ironman, my second Ironman in 2000, I was in Hawaii and I was coming down the road. I had 3 kilometers to go before I go into the transition. A kid ran across the street. I slammed on my brakes. I flipped over. I sat in the street. And all I could think about is there any reason for me to quit? No, nothing was broken. Get up, move forward. But how was I able to do that? I had an amazing coach at the time that put me through the ringer. And it's not because he did not prepare me. He prepared me, because I remember one day we went out. It was in September and Hawaii's in October. And there were 3 of us, him and another guy. He took me out. It was cold. Montreal, Canada, you can imagine, September is not warm. He took me out and I was cold, I was hungry, and I was angry. And we went for this long ride and it just feels like it never stopped. And then all of a sudden the 2 of them were gone and I was coming. And then I got a flat tire. I was so pissed. I took my bike and I just fucking threw it into the field. And I was just sitting there on the road. I was just sitting there. They didn't come back for me, because why? They're gonna help me when I'm in a race. I had to sit there, figure it out, fix my tire, get on it, and get back to the house, because they were already making dinner, and the next day we had to do a long run. And because of that type of training, I podiumed in Hawaii. And when you podium in Hawaii, that is something to be proud of. And why did I podium? It's because my coach prepared me for all the things that could go wrong. And that's not a negative mindset. That is creating a powerful mindset. And that's what you want in a stage race. You want to have a powerful mindset. So preparation is the key to success. Break up your training, 4 blocks, 3 training, 1 recovery, to adapt to all the physiological changes that you can make. Now, there is a difference between women and men. If you're a certain age, and I can refer to myself in all stages of my life in terms of how my body reacted. When I was in my 30s, I was doing Ironman, and tired or slow, didn't matter. I recovered like this. We would go party, we would get up at 6 in the morning, we would go swim, we would do our weight training, different world. In my 40s, I had 2 kids, I had all these things. It was like my life was pulled in 15 directions. In my 15s, it's like, holy crap, what the hell happened now? Now I want to do stage racing and I have to do all these things. And I told myself, how is that possible? Is the human body, especially the women's body, able to do this? Absolutely. Absolutely is it possible. And why am I able to do it and to be successful is, 1, that I recognize that my body needs rest. Recognize my body needs rest. Why? To recover from the training that I've done. Do I lose what I've did in my training when I take 1 or 2 days off because my body is not saying yes? No, you are actually taking a step forward and you will learn a lot more about your body. Now, I tell you right now, the one piece of equipment that you're going to have to get right now is a diary. You get yourself a diary, or you take an agenda and you write down everything that is happening to you, because you will find that there's patterns of your behavior that is happening to you in order for things to occur, like an injury. Why did I get injured? It's because I went too hard. Did I do my training? I went above zone 3. Why am I tired? Because I didn't sleep. So you have to write this thing down, and don't think you're going to keep it in your head, because trust me, at this age, we don't remember anything anymore. We only remember the things we don't want to remember. And this brings me to one of the things that I have discovered through a family member of ours that we just actually became family with. Their family runs the company bodybio.com. And I generally do not encourage or support vitamins and things. I believe that everything works very differently for everybody. But I have been taking 1 or 2 of their products, the Elite for my hydration, and I don't just take it when I race. I take it every day, and especially when you're going to start your training. You need to take it every day. Now, I take this and I take the Body Bio PC for clarity, mental focus, because I need to be focused, not just when I train during the day, but when I work. When I'm working with people, I constantly have to listen to people and I have to be right in that moment. I have to be present at all time. And how do you become present? You become present by training your mind to be present. Now, back to stage racing. I never left it. These are all things about stage racing. Think about it. You wake up in the morning, you're getting a new car, you skip your breakfast, you feel cranky, you're ready to bite your boss's butt. That's stages of your life during the day. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to go into the desert and you're going to do it over 5 days and you're going to do a certain mileage per day. The question is, do you have to run it, all of it? No, you don't. You don't have to run it. At the end of this race, everybody is equal. Some did it faster, but everybody finished equal, okay? Everybody starts a race equal, regardless how much they've trained, because so much can go wrong. So, recap, 4 weeks, 3 weeks of training, 2 trainings of weights, add swimming. You do start slowly. You start with 10 kilometers week 1, 11 kilometers week 2, 12 kilometers week 3, and then week 4 you go back to 11 to give your body a chance to do physiological adaptations. Do you skip Sunday? No, you do not skip Sunday. Sunday you run slow. Why? Your body is tired. Now you're teaching your body how to adapt to running on tired legs. Do I go fast? No. Do I walk? Yes. Do I hike? Yes. Can I use a weight vest? Not yet. Wait for it. Wait for it. Give your body time to adjust. Do I panic? No. Do I panic in a stage race? No. You do not panic because it doesn't bring anything positive into the racing that you're going to be doing. Okay, so this covers part of preparation. Our preparation will be from 8 to 12 weeks. Yes, it's gonna be a long haul in order to get ready. And if you're doing an Ironman or even a half Ironman, you will doing 8 to 10 weeks of preparation. Now, why do you need that much preparation? If you're already an experienced athlete, you don't need that much preparation. You need proper planning. So, proper planning, you will be able to execute the race that you are training for. Now, do I sound angry today? No. Do I want you to understand that this is important? Yes. Are you going to celebrate during the holidays and drink and eat and what? You should celebrate, enjoy. Life is short. You have to do these things. It's not just about racing. Racing is the cherry. I love racing. I can race every week, but I want to live too. I don't want to just hitch my wagon on racing, and then when I don't race, I fall apart. So, pick up your socks, put on your shoes, and go do what you need to do in order to get the job done. And did I say quitting is not an option?